Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sim Racing Bible. Welcome along to our Saturday evening stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope your weekend's going well so far. Tonight, we're back in Automobilista 2, and we're going to be checking out one of the most recent releases for Automobilista 2, which is part of the Racin USA Part 3 pack of DLC. We've driven some of the content already. There's a couple of tracks which are in that release which we've already had access to for quite a while now. But there's one particular track which we have not yet driven on the stream, and there's a little bit of extra content we can cover as well this evening. And that is, of course, Indianapolis. So we're going to be taking a look at the Indy Motor Speedway in both guises. It's oval format and it's road course as well. And we have some cars that we can be checking out as well. So we have the low drag Indy cars, we have the Corvette GTP, or the Group C car. And we also have got a bit of a challenge on the go this evening, so I thought we're going to have a bit of a battle of the Rovals this evening to see which one of the Roval circuits is best. So let's go and give that a go. So first of all, let's get ourselves over into the actual game itself, and yeah, we'll see how we get started this evening. You may notice some changes this evening. There's a nice kind of red glow all around me, and as you can see on the screen now, we have pedal cam available, guys. So upping the ante for you all this evening, just to try and improve the overall experience for you. Hope you enjoy it. But yeah, great to have you with us. Welcome along. Let me get myself in here as well, and we'll go from there. Marty, good evening, Marty. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good. And right, let's take a look. So obviously, Indianapolis is how it shows up on the screen here. I'll scroll up so you can actually see it, and then we have so the Indy Oval, which is a bit of a different style of oval to all the other ones. Normally you have either a regular oval with just two banked corners, or a tri-oval, which has a kind of a third kind of not really a curve as such. It's just like a non-straight, I suppose you can call it. But the Indy Motor Speedway oval is very different. You actually got four definitive corners in it with adjoining straights on it as well. So we'll give that a try. And then we have the road course, which actually runs in the opposite direction to the main Indy oval, and then obviously cuts through the centre and uses some of the oval section as well. So we're going to take a look at them, see what we think of the new circuits, and obviously we're going to have to start off driving the Indy cars, which are made for this particular type of content. So let's load in and see how we get on. This is which ones are we on? I think we're on the... Get lost with them. Yeah, it's the Gen 3s that we're going to be running here in the low drag super speedway specification. Somebody ever increasing production value. Yeah. Now I'm trying my best for you guys, trying to make it look a little bit more professional, a little bit better. And you can get a good view of the pedals and how I'm driving with throttle and brake inputs and things as well. So hopefully you enjoy that. It's something we're testing out. Evening, Frank. Frank says, got my rum at hand here. Okay, you're set for the evening then. Good to see you, Frank. Okay. So let's, first of all, get my gloves on so I don't damage my wheel. So we're just going to take it nice and easy to start off with around Indy. We're going to take in the overall ambiance of the circuit, check out the details and things, and then we'll start trying to pick up the pace and see how terrifying this super speedway really is. So here we go then. So we've got it on reasonable kind of cloud cover, nothing too mad. Here we go then. Let's get our speed limiter engaged. Now we've got some stone cold tyres here as well, so an extra reason not to go too mad out of the pit lane. So we have the big timing tower there, which I've just noticed. I'm just going to do something highly illegal here and just reverse in the pit lane. Don't do this, guys. Let's go back a moment. And there we go. So this timing tower obviously shows you where positions are within the session, but it's actually not just there for decoration, it's functional. You can see at the top of the list, we're just in a test day here, but it has ROS being the first three letters of my surname on there, so that'll actually update depending on where you are in the race, which is really cool. I know a lot of real-life drivers actually use that stack sometimes just to kind of see where people are on the list and see who's making a move, so that's really neat that we've got that feature in there. And I wonder whether that windsock on the top as well is dynamic. It's certainly blowing in the right direction for the clouds, so Nice touch. Right, let's go back out of the pit lane now. Those pedals look nice, says Marty. Yeah, they are rather nice. They are rather nice. I am quite impressed with them. And if you've seen our video, which we dropped yesterday, where we do a little bit of a comparison between these pedals and the previous pedals I was running, which are the Fanatec Club Sport V3s, it's quite a big difference in terms of performance as well. Alright. So this is the pit lane exit, which actually cuts off the first 2 corners of Indy Motor Speedway. So lots of catch fencing left and right, for safety purposes of course. And overall looks pretty good so far. Obviously there's no crowds here because it's just a test day and we're just on our own turning some laps here. But when you actually get the speed going, you don't really notice too much of what's around you because you're too busy concentrating trying to go quickly. So main straight, we've got these huge grandstands either side, and obviously the iconic race control tyre on the left hand side there, which looks very nice indeed. Pit Marshal, or starting Marshall's platform there. Alright, let's try and pick up the pace. We're getting a bit of stuttering here. I'm hoping that's not because of the pedal cam. Please let me know if it's too stuttery on stream and I can turn the pedal cam off. It's just a test and trial this evening to see whether it can cope with it all. Hey Funky, welcome along. Revs rise as we get towards the top end of the straight. A bit loose turning into there. And we're getting a lot of stuttering going on here actually. Alright, let's pick up the pace even more. It's very loose turning into these corners. They're not very banked, they're quite shallow in fact. And we're running in the Super Speedway specification, so we don't have as much downforce available as we would normally do running the Champ cars. Okay, that's really stuttery. Yeah. Let's do a quick test here. Let's just go back to here and just it's quickly just going to turn the foot cam off for a moment. And oh no, I know why it's doing it. I know why it's doing it. There we go. That should be better now, hopefully. Let's try again. Okay, feels a bit better. Right, carrying on. So Frank says, Phil said there's no crowd because it's not a Tesco's. I mean Testo. Testo! Yeah, they've all gone to Tesco's while I'm testing here. Whoa. So it's definitely not flat out the whole way around. You do have to require a little bit of a lift just to try and keep the thing going in the right direction. Yeah, we've still got some stutters going on here. Let me just get through this corner and we might do a quick test again with it off. Let's just hang on. Turn that off. Oops. Alright. Let's try this again, see if this is any better now. I don't know if it would be making much of a difference, but I think it's worse. Okay, hang on a second. Let's just reload out of there and we'll come back into that. Bear with, guys. We are working through some little technical gremlins here. We're trying these things for the first time, and so it's one of those things. Turn that on. Turn that on. All right, we'll go back onto the foot cam anyway, and we'll give it another try. Now we're back in here. Let's. Oh, of course, that's why I wasn't gonna. All over the place, guys. Sorry, just bear with me a moment. Let's turn that off. Try that again, and we will load in. Get that turned off. There we go. Let's try that again. Anyway, so Muddy says, my pedals don't have fancy lights, that's why I'm slow. Yeah, you see, it's the LED lighting on there. You can actually change that. You can change the color of that as well. I got it set to red because that's kind of our color here at SRB. So yeah, you can change that. It's quite flash actually. Frank says, I think that lighting is the business. Looks fantastic on stream. That's good. I'm glad it all looks good. Right. Hopefully a bit smoother this time. Let's see. So Marty says, it's pretty slick been considering the Acertec pedals for a while. Yeah, they are very good. I mean, they're very solid and they're well built. So, yeah, I think they do the business for me, I think. And the brake pedal is what really is the big difference on a high-end set of pedals. The IndyCar is very skittish on cold tyres. Oh, goodness me, we're getting a lot of stuttering. Is there something else I can turn off in the background maybe that we can try and improve that stuttering issue, because it's not normally that bad. Okay. Put that back on again. What we got to lose? Performance mode again, and right. So we will get on to Indianapolis at some point. Now, of course, with the IndyCars, normally you get them into a high gear and you don't really do much. So sixth gear is very much a similar ratio to fifth gear, mostly for the draft. So as we're on our own, we don't really need sixth gear. What you do find is when you come off the banking, even though it is only slight, you do feel the rear end just start to come out a little bit, and it's a bit of a thing to try and hold on to. There we go. So let's catch up on what you guys said. So Funky says, Marty will be quicker than me because my wheel is not working in AMS2. Oh no! What's going on, Funky? Hopefully it's all okay. Frank says, Phil will affiliate link in the description for a discount. He's that kind of dude. I haven't got an affiliate link actually, but who knows? I might be able to speak to the guys and see if there's anything I can do for you. Man, it's pretty wild here. Verinda, welcome Verinda, says, hi, I'm sure you've mentioned this before, but what GPU do you run? Well, it's not the newest of things. It's actually a NVIDIA GTX 970. Whoa. See, even the car was like, you what? Disqualified, wrong way. Yeah, wrong way down the pit lane. Okay, let's reboot here a sec. Oh goodness. Yeah, so I run an old GTX 970, which is not the newest of cards and probably not the strongest of cards, but it does the job for now-ish. But we do need an upgrade for sure. Oh, Marty, you got your new Stream Deck XL delivered yesterday. Very nice. Using it as a button box while racing. Awesome. I'm going to just drop down to one of the older spec IndyCars here. Let's run the Lola. I'm just going to change some settings here as well, because I think we might need to turn some things down if it's going to be causing some issues. What else have we got? We can turn down on here. Come on, let me scroll down. There we go. Let's turn that down a bit. Let's go back. Visual effects. Anything we can turn off on there, really? overly so. That's fine. We'll persist. We'll persist. There we go. Let's try the loader out around Indy Oval course, shall we say? And we'll actually probably get the proper lap together here, and I can actually get that idea of what this track is like. So oval racing is not my normal kind of environment, you could say. So it's something I need to practice more. So how are you finding your Stream Deck, Marty? I believe they're rather good things. They're rather nifty. So Frankie's tried to reinstall drivers, but no result on Linux. Yeah. Don't give me advice. Yeah, Linux is very different. Marty said run a 970 last January. Oh, okay, you upgraded from your 970. That's good. Wow, 970. That brings back memories. Good thing AMS2 is very well optimized. Well, it is, to be honest. I mean, obviously, it's working hard because I'm streaming as well. When I'm not streaming...
Put towards a new GPU when you can. Cheers. Funky smells.
Marty. Thanks, Marty. I appreciate the $5 there. That's very kind of you. Couldn't resist to get the cheeky dig in there. Brilliant. But yes, so when I'm not streaming and I'm running AMS2, it runs fine. Obviously, it's not at the highest of high settings, but it runs okay. But streaming just tend to really run it down a little bit. So Frank said, the benefit of upgrading from a 970 now is like a literal tripling, quadrupling of FPS from where yeah, that's the thing. It would be a big jump up from now. So Frank says, Phil, let's be honest, the 970 is like very last century. I even have a free RX 580 for you. Oh, Frankie. I know, it is very, very old, my my graphics card. It's not the sharpest thing. That smelled nice, thank you, Marty. Oh man. So yeah, it's one of these things. I'll get there eventually, and we'll manage to upgrade the GPU. It's whole new systems required, I think, because this is really struggling. Oh, Verinda! Thanks for the £5. I really appreciate that. Helped to upgrade. Oh, you guys are just awesome. Wow, my goodness, it's seemingly quite heavy on resources. We've not had any problems. We've been running AMS2, we've been streaming on various different circuits. It might just be all the crash, the catch fencing and stuff, which is sending it absolutely berserk. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Once you get the temperatures into the tyres, it's probably not so bad, but oh my word! I think possibly the stuttering is not helping that situation. Let's just do one more quick change and see if we can lower all the graphic settings down. It might not look as pretty, but if it runs smoothly, then that's the main thing. So we'll try that. Let's go back here. Performance, text to resolution, real engine low. Turn that down. And say low. That should leave it off. And medium and low. Track detail low. let's just try it. Let's just try it. Might make a difference, might not make a difference, but we got to give it a go because we want to try Indy out properly. So, Stormer Norman says, I've got a 760, that still works fine. Yeah, so, yeah, some of the old cards, I mean, I was running a 960 before this 970, and yeah, even from the 960 to the 970, that was a big difference. So I can only imagine what it's like getting a 3070, 3080 in this thing, or even the ridiculous beast that is a 4090. Right. Let's try this again. It's not too bad this time. Right. Funky says, master the Fusca, then upgrade. Get your priorities right. Yeah, absolutely. None of this IndyCar nonsense. The Fusca's where it's at. Okay, well, so far, running a little bit better. It's just my right foot which requires some attention. So obviously when you're trying to get out of the pit lane here, you're on the flat, so it's not easy to get the thing through there very quickly, so... Okay, this is a little bit smoother now, hopefully. It is very, very loose, even... Man, that is absolutely insane. That is difficult. That is really difficult. Right. Because you turn it in, and then you just have to kind of ride it. There goes the nose cone. Yes, you turn it in, you ride the force feedback, and then it kind of gets to the end of the corner, and it just drops on you. It just goes. So let's see if we can actually change anything in the pit lane here, because that is pretty insane. Let's see if there's anything we can do aero-wise. Downforce, rear downforce. It's okay. That's as high as it can possibly go in low drag setup. Okay, well, let's see if we can get any kind of drivability going, because this is not easy right now. So Bernardo kind of messing with us on the rise up on so many guesses to what tracks are coming. Yeah, I think there's a few rumours flying around, isn't there, with regards to upcoming tracks, and I think I see something just recently that there's a whole lot of stuff which is scheduled for release before the end of the year, which could be pretty cool. I know there's one pack which they said they were going to release, but aren't going to be able to do it until next year, which is the Adrenaline pack, I believe. But everything else is due to be dropped in December, so I think we've got quite a bumper month coming up for AMS2. Let's just take it slow. Take it nice and easy. Not try and go too fast too soon. Okay. And we'll work our pace up a little bit as we go. Slippery or what? Yeah, no kidding, Ruinda. Absolutely right. It's just... Okay, well, it's not feeling so bad with the higher rear wing. Let's just ease ourselves in. It's a bit better. So Marty says, public service announcement, pick up the RSS Endurance Pack 1 for AC. Yes, I saw that release just the other day. It does look very, very good. We got the Ferrari Le Mans car in there, and the Nissan GT1, and what was the other thing in there? It was, oh yeah, the Toyota TS01. Yeah. Does look like a very good pack, that actually, Marty. I'm tempted to give that a go. Okay, things have calmed down a bit more. It's still something you need to be aware of on the exit of the corners, just as the banking drops off. Oof, dear me. But it's not so bad. It's a bit more drivable now. There we go. Look at that, we've actually made a full lap. I think maybe even two. I mean, what's going on? Let's try and get it a little bit lower down towards the white line. You've really got to hug that white line if you want a decent lap around here. And so far, I'm not able to get it low enough on the corners to hold it around there. Qualifying laps around here, they are flat out, and it's just crazy. Alright, get it lower down. There we go, a bit better. Get in, nice and early. Oh, there's a wall. Still showing us top of the timing tree, which is good news. Okay, you can see the lap delta's showing us a nice green improvement every single time we go past a split, so positive signs. A little bit of a wheel spin moment, just we got a little bit too low on the on the inside there, but we're able to hold it much quicker through these corners without lifting off as much, even though we are finding the wall. Okay, I'm getting more used to it now. Yeah, cold tyres do definitely catch you out on the Indy cars. Well, that was a real chuck in there. We were literally sliding into that corner. That's what have we got going on. So, what is this? If I can't get my drivers working, I'm coming around to your house, Marty. I think we've abused that right side quite enough with several wall strikes on there. Okay, so that's pretty difficult. I mean, it's we've got the other two ovals in the Racin USA Pack 3, which are obviously, we've got Gateway or Worldwide Technology Raceway, and Fontana as well, or Auto Club Speedway, whatever it's called, which are two very different types of ovals, and this again is another different type of thing altogether. It's, if anything, I find that a lot harder than the other two to drive, and I know I was making a bit of a hash of that with trying to drive this IndyCar, but it is actually very difficult, very hard to actually drive quickly around Indianapolis. Okay, well let's see if we have any better success with the road course, which is a bit more of my forte in terms of driving, but let's see. Yes, that's one of those other things that you can say that, you know, oval racing, oh, it's dead easy. It's not. It's definitely very, very tricky. Right, well, let's jump into let's go GTE, shall we? We'll take the BMW M8 and we will try out the road course. Let's give this a go. So Marty says, did find a house, unfortunately $2,000 per month. Yeah, ouch. It's that's actually not, is that renting, is it? Because that's not bad. I mean, because it's, I don't know if it's about half that for the pounds or something at the moment, but getting anywhere to rent here, anywhere half decent, you're probably looking around £1,000 a month, which is ludicrous at the moment. But hopefully you manage to find something soon, Marty. That'd be good for you. Get moved before Funky finds me. Alright. So, something completely different. So this is the road course, and as you can see, we're going the wrong way down the pit lane. Too fast as well. There we go. So this one's running a lot smoother, so, well, so far anyway. See what happens when we actually get out on track, but... So the Indy Road has gone through a couple of variations. So you may remember back 2005 when Indianapolis Road Course was first part of the Formula One schedule. There was a little bit of a drama with tyres and potential tyre failures through the final corner. So they had to put in a makeshift chicane, and it was a bit of a mess. Since then, the Indy Road circuit has had a couple of changes to its layout. And this is the latest version of the Indy Road circuit. So once again, we'll just walk around at a reasonable pace, not going too mad. and then we'll start to pick up the pace as we go. This very quick chicane with a big curve on the inside. I believe that's the curve which was causing all sorts of issues with NASCAR, although I think there were some sausage curves out on the left which they've since what am I trying to say? Since removed. There we go. Gonna get my words out. But yeah, this is a slightly simplified version of the original Indy road course. There's a few more kind of tight, twisty hairpin sections in the infield which are no longer part of the layout. So instead of now going flat out around the last corner, or the first corner on the oval, it also now cuts in and it has this right-left section which is a lot tighter than I gave it credit for. Alright, come on then. This is why you go slowly, guys, and start out with until you get yourself up to speed. I'm not particularly familiar with the Indy Road circuit, so it's all learning. Okay, so across the line then, this is turn 1, so we're hard on the brakes going down to turn 1. We have a big curve and a corner mark on the inside, then peels back around to the left, and then a longer right-hander, and then you're hard on the brakes again. And then flat out through the chicane. We have a little bit of respite down the straight here, so we can click through the gears, look for our braking point. The braking markers are actually quite different, so I'm used to seeing braking markers where you've got 200, 150, 100, and then you can kind of base your braking points around that. The braking markers on the right there were saying 500, 400, 300, so oh yeah, I got plenty of time to get on the brakes and stop. Nope. So, note to self, brake earlier. Also, this next corner is slower than you think it is, Phil. Wow, okay, and it also has a cut on the inside as well. Need to stay away from that. Right, so Marty says, coming to Europe next summer, might try catch some races, that would be cool. Right, 500 board, on the brakes. A little bit of a lock-up at the end there. I'll have to brake a little bit earlier than the 500 board, actually. Quick short shift to 4th. Down through the gears again. Hook up the curve on the inside. So that one there, you don't really want to run it out to the left too far. Otherwise, it leaves you compromised before you get into that chicane. So you need to kind of bring it out mid-track almost, so you can take it over to the right-hand side and then just straight line the chicane. So here we go, 500 board. And then it's just like a series of 90 right, 90 left, 90 rights all the way through here. It's like a staircasey part of the course. And again, hard on the brakes for this next big stop. All over the place. We'll smooth out the lines as we go. Frank says, if Europe's still there by then, Marty. Well, hopefully we'll have something left. Okay. Reasonably well through the first couple of corners. We'll go out sideways into the right-hander there. Maybe overslowed it a little bit going into that. once you get into a bit of a rhythm, you can start trying to pick up the pace and just trying to do a little bit better as we're still finding track limits as we go through that final sector there. But yeah, I mean, as I said, this is a bit more of a simplified version of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course compared to how it has been in the past. It was always quite a technical stop-start sort of a circuit. It still is pretty stop-start in a way, but it does have a slightly better flow than it used to. So Frankie said Europe will be there, might not be any more Europe will be there, might not be any Europeans anymore. So that corner there that we've just gone through might be a little bit quicker than we're giving it its due, because I think it opens up on the exit there, so you might be able to take a bit more speed through there. Kind of have to get on the brakes pretty much as soon as you hit the oval, really, there. Wow, it really is super sensitive, the track limits on the inside there. Traction control kicking in. Just remove that cone. It's a silly place to put a cone anyway, right in the racing line. Okay, here we go. It's a brake on the Tag Heuer board, I reckon. Okay, a little bit better for the first run through, the first sector there. Let's pay a bit more attention to our braking point into here. Okay, a few more status coming in. Oh, thanks, Frankie. I appreciate that. And thank you for the £5 again. That's so incredibly generous of you. Yeah, it was my birthday on Monday. It feels like ages ago now, but it was good. It was good. Too late into turn one. This big BMW M8 it's a big old car to be threading through these corners, really, but it's the kind of circuit that you would get a IMSA type race on. That's really taking all the curb there. So Heisenberger says, have you tried NASCAR racing? I have done in the past. I've not really done anything recently with it. I do enjoy NASCAR. I find it incredibly interesting with the strategy and the tactics involved. I think it's good fun. I'd love to do more of it, perhaps. We need some proper stock cars for AMS2. That would be good. I know we have the Brazilian stock cars, but it's very different. Man, so that's really tight on the curb on the inside there, because I'm not. I have to go onto the replay there because I want to see just how much of that inside curb I'm actually taking, because I'm not running off that curb, but I'm getting pinged for track limits. So let's have a look through here. The M8 crackling away on the overrun as it does. Awful line through there. Let's just get through to the last lap, which is where we had the off track. Alright, here we go. Okay, so I've just nicked a little bit of grass. Maybe the width of the big BM is playing tricks on me there, because you can see the wheels inside the white line there. So although the curb is there, you have to give it space. Something I'd need to adjust to. Okay, well, the road circuit's not bad, is it really? I mean, it's, you know, a bit stop-start in places, but not too bad. I think let's go for something a little bit smaller, and maybe add some extra cars to the mix, and we will we'll see what happens. It's let's get the Copa Fusca out, shall we, guys? Let's go with this one. Same class, of course, and we'll go to the road course. Do a quick 5-lap race. Seven in the morning, why not? Yeah, so there we go. Did you have a stroke? Oh dear. Oh dear, that's fun. Yeah, Heisenberger. Yeah, my birthday was Monday, the 21st of November. Your birthday's 20th of November. That's awesome. Yeah, a day apart. 64 last weekend. Well, if it's all the grey hair, yeah, you'd be forgiven for thinking I made it. And it's holding it rather well. Yeah, I do my best. That's cool. He's barely hit 60. Oh, you guys are lovely. Back to Nintendo, I think feels a bit more 8-bit. Yeah. Forgiven for thinking with my current performance that, yeah, maybe it is still running on 8-bit mode. Right. Second gear, and hopefully it doesn't throw me off. Here we go. So ready for a rolling start here with the Copa Fusca. We are starting in P13 for this 5-lap race of Indy Motor Speedway road course. Now we have something we can tame. Let's see if we can enjoy some racing action here. Gotta really stretch those legs of these air-cooled VW motors. Down towards turn 1. Actually get to do some driving this time rather than just using the paddle shifters. So you get to see my heel and toe technique, which probably could be improved. Here we go, making up some places, and we've got the chicane. How do the air handle that? Not particularly well. It's giving that loads of respect. Okay, so we're currently sitting in the top 10. We're going 3 wide. Ooh, squeeze onto the grass. Let's go around him. Whoa, there's Fuscas everywhere. So the track limit's warning already, even in this narrow little car. Whoops, whoops, there's a car on the inside. Oop, getting a nudge. It's a bit deep into there. We're off again. Honestly, guys, I have no idea what's going on this evening, but my driving ability has left me. I apologise. Let's try again. Maddie's got my wheels powered on, just saying. Concentrate, this is a real carnival. Yeah, it is. Caught me out a couple of times. Heisenberger said, I like your new Acertec setup. They look very nice. They are very nice. Yes, thanks. I really like them. They are really, really nice. And fancy booties as well, yes. They've got the Acertec boots. which you need really because the pedal plates on these pedals are actually quite sharp. So if you're doing a lot of heeling and towing like I do, it can be quite harsh on your feet. So I'm not used to racing in boots. I don't normally race with boots. I'm normally a sock person myself. But with these pedals I need the boots because my balls of my feet would be in shreds by the time we finished. So here we go, down to turn 1 we go. Nice bit of space on the inside, let's go for that. The green and black one's going for the wide line around there. Hey, I really don't like that chicane. We'll use that to our advantage. There's lots of space here as well, so I can use all this wide open expanse of tarmac to get past all these other vehicles. Right, here we go. Stay off that curb, Phil. Unsportsmanlike conduct, wow. The track officials are very, very tough here at Indy. We're getting eaten alive as well in some cases. Slow down. There we go. Oops. Again, there's a car on the inside, so we can't be turning in too early there. Alright, let's get in this slipstream. He's going to punch a nice big hole for us to try and follow along with. These are like technical racing socks are the answers to your binning it. Ah, okay. Yeah. Oh, the corner marker's gone flying. There we go. I think once they've gotten themselves all sorted, I think it's not too bad through the chicane because they were a lot quicker through there that time. It may just be because they're side by side; they just can't figure out what to do with each other. We've got the crowds on now as well, so you can obviously see the grandstands are full of people watching this highly prestigious Fusca race this evening. It's been done up the inside once again. Funky spelling have gone all over the place this evening. So Marty says, get an affiliate link, Bill, because I'm going to buy those pedals, you might as well get a kickback. I'll do my best, yeah, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Funky needs a reboot, says Marty. Well, we're going quicker, but we're just going backwards as well, so we're still in 11th here. So Heisenberg says there was this sim setup I saw a few days ago where the seat shakes or sway a little bit when he's taking turns or hitting curves and things. Yeah. I'm gonna vomit when I have that in racing multiplayer. Yes, it's emotion is not for everybody. Oh goodness. Yeah, motion's a very unique experience. As is VR, and I think if you combine motion and VR, I think yeah, you probably would feel rather unwell, but incredibly immersive, I'm sure. Need to just leave it in third rather than try and get down to second all the time. Yeah, that was a little off track. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Marty. Yeah, it wouldn't be a nice feeling at all, I don't think. Well, we are dropping back massively. We're on the penultimate lap here. Yep. Getting eaten alive by the opposition. But then we did have our AI skill level turned up a little bit as well, because I think we were having some difficulties with speed at certain circuits, so that's probably why. Let's see if we can have a race with them here. Got a good run out of the chicane. Get back past them. That was quite good. So it's probably not the quickest way of doing it. It's not the best way for your tyres, but we're sliding it through those sequence of corners quite nicely there. It was quite satisfying as well. I got one on the left. Okay, get back in this slipstream. There we go. The Funky says, if you want a cheap motion rig, live in an earthquake zone. Not quite sure how well that will tie up with the movements in game, but it'll certainly move you around quite a bit. Alright, brake earlier. Protect the inside. And just get driven around the outside of. So now we're running at a slightly slower pace in terms of car compared to the M8. You can actually appreciate that, although you know we're getting some stuttering going on here. That's all over the detail of the Indy circuits are yeah, they're quite nice. It looks pretty good. It's well populated with different things. Here's a little bit more of the circuit which we hadn't seen previously. Let's go over here. This was obviously all planned, by the way, on the last lap. So you've got some nice buildings on the inside there. You've got a TV screen there. Lots of nice grass textures to wade through as you try and find yourself back on track. But yeah, the overall look of the place is good. It's obviously looking very alive and very full of people, of course, which when Indy's the Indy 500 is on, obviously, of course, it's an incredibly busy event, so lots of capacity for crowds and so on. Definitely my least favourite corner on the entire circuit, that second to last corner. So Verinda says, has anyone tried the Logitech direct drive wheel? No. So I hear good things and bad things about it, and it's expensive, but with that true force goings. Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, you've got Logitech introducing a direct drive wheel, Thrustmaster introducing a direct drive wheel as well. So everyone's dipping their toe in the water of the direct drive revolution. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it's actually like to drive, I think. As Miranda says, also it might be good for road surface feel. Still on the T300 RS, and I've been holding on off going TT, but will soon. Yeah, I think there's definitely more options out there for direct drive now than there was. But yeah, it would make a big difference. I think once you go, the T300, it's a great starter wheel for anyone who wanted to get involved in sim racing. But I think it really does, when you go up to a direct drive wheel, even if it's an 8 Newton meter one, if it's like one of the smaller ones, it's even that, just the natural feel of the direct force coming through the wheel is a big difference compared to what you get over one of the entry level wheels. So yeah, I'm sure it'd be a big upgrade to a DD wheel. I'm sure you'll love it too. Okay, so let's just do this for a second. I'm just going to show you. We've driven these before on the channel, but I just want to show you in comparison. So that's one of the Rovals, but let's just go and drive a couple of the other Roval circuits which we have in the Racing USA Part 3 DLC. So we'll go to Gateway first. Now, we drove these ones when they were released. The long version, I'm not overly fond of. I don't think this flows particularly well, but this one is good, the short road course. So we're going to drive that. Hopefully it's just restricted to Indy with the FPS dramas that we're having there. But let's get something fun we can just check around this particular course. So let's go Caterham Super Sport, shall we? And we'll just give this a bit of a drive. Oh, we're sharing the love in the comments there. No, I'm concerned about all you guys. As long as you're all well, that's my main priority. I'm glad you're well. So Heisenberg says, I joined another league, Lipper Speed League, a few days ago and found a good racing team I can work with. And instead of me racing, I'm tasked to be the team's race engineer and plan the race strategy. Oh, excellent. Well done. Good stuff to get involved with. There's lots of different elements you can do with sim race, not just driving. You can do the spotting, teamwork, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's awesome. Verinda says, agreed on the T300 as it has served me really well. Many years of great service. Yeah, it was like that for me with my G27. Yeah, I did so many great things with that G27, and then moving on from there was always a bit difficult sometimes, but you get used to it eventually, and it's good. So Frank says, my T300 is caked in dust since the DD. I have a GT3 and a round BMW rim. What an upgrade that was. Yeah. So Marty says, I have to build 2 custom rigs and a custom PC build for my girlfriend. Going to be pricey. Still haven't decided on which wheelbase to go with. Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay. So let's go Caterham for a run around Gateway short road course. Yeah, so all of a sudden, this is a little bit smoother, which is nice. Although it is still occasionally a little bit choppy, but in general, much better. So this is the Gateway Oval road course, the short version, which is actually really fun. Now, I've mentioned on the channel before now that Rovals are not my preferred type of racetrack. I struggle to find a really good oval road course. But these last two, so Gateway and Fontana, which I'm going to show you in a moment, they actually work for me. I don't mind driving these because they're actually quite fun. Simone. Right, on the brakes. Because this first corner, this is the usual issue you get with road courses, is that the first corner is you're coming off the oval and you just kind of drop down off the banking, and it's always really difficult to either get the car stopped or rotated into it, and it's very, very tricky. And it's more of the same here at Gateway, because that first corner is very difficult. But what you do get in the middle part of it is a couple of really quick kind of chicanes, and you get this long sweeping right-hander which seems to go on for ages. It's better to be a late apex into there, and then again you get another hairpin just to get yourself back onto the oval itself, and that's kind of typical of a lot of oval road courses, because you have very limited space on the infield to actually build a road course, so you have to kind of double back a few times just to make use of the space. So let's try and go for a full lap at speed and try and drive this properly. So here we go then, down to turn 1. Let's see if we can get it stopped. Let's aim for the end of the pit lane barrier there. You can actually probably, with this car, take it a bit deeper into there because we've got that slowed down way too early. With this chicane, it's good fun. Get it turned in here. And then just float it through there. Oh, that's a big chunk of curve. You wouldn't normally attack it that aggressively. There we go. Out of the second hairpin. So as I said a few hours ago, my team did a race. The first driver finished in P1, and the second driver messed up and finished at the back. Oh no. It's a race of 2 halves for you. Goes that way sometimes though. That's a bit better. A bit later braking into turn 1. Might even leave it in 3rd gear next time around. Just slide it out of there. Except it doesn't like it going that far off course on the exit, so we'll have to keep that within the white lines. Oops, missed that one by a country mile. But instantly, having come to this one from the Indy road course, I know I'm in a slightly different car here, but it's fun, you know, it flows a bit nicer. You've got a fast chicane on Indy road as well, but the rest of it is quite stop-start. So yeah, it's not necessarily my favourite road course or oval road course. But this one, which is the Gateway Short, great fun. That's more like it. Whoops. It's getting a little bit carried away there. But that was, you know, it's a really fun layout, that one. But I think probably my favourite road oval course of the DLC is definitely Fontana, which I didn't think it would be. From looking at the above track map, you think, yeah, it's just going to be more of the same. You know, you just kind of 90 right, 90 left, loads of chicanes and stuff. But actually, this one is brilliant, and I'm gonna revisit this again because we did this a while ago, but this was absolutely fantastic. So we're gonna go with a 620R around Auto Club Speedway. The Caterhams are good, aren't they, Funky? Yes, absolutely. Frank's suspecting sabotage on that on that race for Heisenberger. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean that's the thing with the wheel choices. There's so many options out there at the moment, isn't there? That you'd really get quite lost in options. I've heard the Moser ones are really good. The some Magic Alphas are really good too. But yeah, I'm running an old SC1 SimiCube OSW wheel, which is really good too. So Frank, is Fontana a short oval? No, it's a. I think it's a 2.5 mile oval, but it's quite a long and very fast oval circuit. Okay. Sam Blunden's welcome, said Sam. Says the AI are awful on the first chicane coming off the oval. Yes. Yeah, no, I think AI do struggle coming off ovals. I've not tried against the AI around here, but this thing, 620R, is good fun. So let's just get ourselves through the first section here and get ourselves down into the first chicane, which is super tight. Oops. Come on, Phil. Right, so then we have this double left-handed hairpin. We have some mountains disappearing in the background thanks to our settings, but it's okay, just ignore that. And then we have this beautiful quick chicane through here, which then flicks and sets you up for the runs of this hairpin. So what I'm not sure is whether they've adjusted this, so no, you still just go straight through there. Because it looks a lot tighter on the track map than that, but it's actually quite a quick little chicane there. And you're into the what I referred to originally as the car park section. But it's great fun anyway. So, Martin, any community races tonight or not? Well, I was going to, but I was going to do some community races around Indy Road, but with the performance side of things on there, I don't know if I will, because it's barely surviving on its own, let alone adding community racing into the mix. But hey, you know, no, we might chuck a server up, because there's a car I need to show you as well first. Okay, we were through the first chicane that time, a little bit more successfully than last time. I still love it through there with this car. And this. Here we go. And then locking the brakes. There's no going back there. Oh dear me. But yeah, I think the Fontana Oval road course is probably my favourite of the lot. I know it didn't really show much for there, but it's just fun. It's just a chuck it around kind of course, and it works well with the Caterham, but obviously with other cars it might not work as well. Okay, well let's move away from the Rovals for a moment, and I'm going to show you the other new car that's been released since we did a last look at the at Automobilista 2 with the release candidate version. This car was released after we did that stream, and it's been added to the Group C category, which, you know, we love a good Group C car here at Sim Racing Bible, and we've had the Porsche 962 and the Sauber Mercedes C9 in here for a little while, and love them both. They are brilliant. We now have the Chevrolet Corvette GTP, which is an IMSA type car, and not one I've ever come across beforehand. I'll be honest, I wasn't aware this was even a thing. I know we've had Corvette DPs running in IMSA before now, but I was not aware that we had such a thing as these Corvette GTPs. So, and it's a really nice looking thing as well. Obviously, it's got a V8 engine in the back, as it would be for a Corvette. Some nice livery options available, some kind of GM styling of the liveries as well. So that's really cool. So we're going to give this a bit of a try, and we'll go to, I think we'll go to Road America for this one. So, where are you? America, there it is. Right, okay. So let's go take this for a drive, and I'm going to show you this absolute beauty of a car. It's so good. So just catching up what you guys have been saying. So Frank says at Sam, they go straight for the tire bearings. Yeah, the AI, yeah. Have you got the low downforce 620R config? Yeah, I think so. I think I must have done. The one with no wings. So Heisenberg says, Auto Club Speedway, one of my favourite NASCAR tracks. I like NASCAR tracks that are wide enough to make cars go 3-4 wide. Yeah, ones with multiple grooves, so you can actually have you know, people running a low groove or a high groove or whatever, and anywhere in between, and just kind of moving around. So yeah, it's good. It's a good track, that one. So Funky says the high downforce version is a few mates clinging in on the back. Just sit back there, will you, and just hold on to the roll cage. Cheers. Marty says, my girlfriend heard Phil say my name, and now she puts on his accent when she says my name. Relationship now ruined. Thanks. Oh, I'm sorry, Marty. I apologise. Should I start calling you Marty instead of Marty? Sorry. Oh well. Yeah, I'll take the blame for that. I'm sorry. So Funky says it's quite planted, still a handful though. Yeah, the 620R is. You can drive it. You can actually throw it around a little bit, but yeah, if you go too far, as you saw, it does tend to bite quite a bit. Samuel, welcome Samuel, says, how do you change the downforce config on the Class C cars? Good evening, by the way. Yes, good evening. Good to see you. I believe it's automatically done, so I don't know if you can actually select what downforce package you want to run. So if we're in the setup editing mode here, let's see if there's anything. We can change the amount of downforce, but I don't know if there's any way we can actually change the package. I think it's just set by circuits. So I think it's just a case of if you go to anywhere like Spa or you go to Monza, it'll automatically load it, because as you can see when you're on the track selection screen, when we were on the champ cars before, when you select the champ car, it'll show the regular downforce package, and then you select an oval.
Single again. It's all good. Cocktail.
Yeah, so when you select the Speedway versions, that's when you get the changes just happen automatically on the car selection, so it doesn't actually be anything you have to change yourself, it's just automatically done. So yeah, I think it's the same with the Group C cars as well. Single again, it's all good. Oh dear me, you guys are fun. Frank says it saves you in setting up an entire rig. Oh dear. Right, let's drive this Corvette. So first of all, you get in this thing, you got a nice view over the arches in front with the vents coming up, a nice textured steering wheel in front there, and of course you get a beautiful rumble underneath. So let's do a quick sound check. Yeah, sounds good. Let's go for a quick lap, shall we? Pull away nicely. Thanks, Marty, for the $2, by the way. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Okay. Stone Cold tyres. And this thing is quick. Corners come up at you very quickly indeed, so you've got to be prepared to get on the brakes. As you see, as we light it up down the straight here underneath the little cheese bridge, the straight just gets absolutely destroyed by this thing, and then before you know it, straight on the brakes, and then blipping all the way down through the gears into turn 3. It's just, oh, amazing. The power in until we get ourselves a little bit of tyre grip. Brakes are pretty good on this thing as well. They do stop quite nicely. Beautiful colours in the autumnal season here at Road America as well, in Wisconsin. Quick dab of brake just to make sure we get through the kink in one piece. Make sure we manage to do so. Wow, this thing is just epic. No problem getting up that hill with all this power. Absolutely flies. Cross skating down to 3rd gear for turn 1. Got a bit more temperature going now, so we can start to lean on the tyres ever so slightly. Absolutely love this thing. And of course the big difference between this and the Sauber Mercedes, of course, is the lack of turbo. So with the Sauber you have a twin turbo setup, whereas this is just pure V8 brute force. So there's no turbo sounds to be listening to, no whistles, no wastegate chatter. It's literally just V8 and transmission sounds. Bit of a cut there on the inside, but we survive. There we go, get ourselves slow down into and a corner. No, we aren't. Thankfully there's some nice handy gravel trap to run off into. Again, it's just another example of getting caught up in just how quickly you're going and not getting it stopped. For my word, this thing is just so good. So, what have you guys been saying here? So, you're welcome, Samuel. I hope that helps and answers a question regarding the low downforce specifications. Forgot to insult Funky. $2 wasted, says Marty. Is this going to be a backwards and forwards thing now, is it? Because it's all brute force V8, you can actually get away with running it in slightly higher gears through some of these corners. So I was in 3rd gear there, but it has enough torque to kind of pull its way out of there without too much trouble, so helps with trying to maintain traction on the exit of some of these corners. what I do love about being able to drive these H-pattern gearbox cars is you're constantly switching between braking techniques. So I'm obviously heeling and towing for the main braking sections, but then for corners which require a small dab, I can then switch to left foot braking, so it makes it quite engaging as a drive. And you really do just have to hang on and just get through it. It's so good. Slidey through the final corner there, but oof. So Heisenberg says modern JDM cars are still the best sounding cars. You're a big fan of those, are you? Yeah. There's some great sounds out there. But this thing is, I mean, Group C cars in general are incredible fun, but let's just take a moment just to watch this thing on track. I mean, it's a great looking car. I mean, you can tell the Corvette instincts on there with obviously the rear lighting and things as well. But it's got a nice, slick, smooth design. Obviously, open on the rear end, come over the top of the hill there. It just looks so good. It sounds awesome too. Corners do come quick in this one. You're right, Marty. Oop, there's that lock up into the corner just before the carousel. You can always do your own whistle, always look on the fast side of the line. That's quick through there. Driver swaps in the proper endurance racing. Yeah, that'd be fun. Do some endurance racing in these Group C cars, how about that? That would be quite the experience as I take out the camera on the inside there. So yeah, this is definitely one of my favourite things to be added in with the new release for AMS2. I'm also really looking forward to the Nissan GT1, which has been touted as coming soon as well, so that's going to be fun. But yeah, this thing is definitely one of my highlights of the update. Yeah, you like it that it's open on the rear end. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? It's good you can see into all the drive shafts and the suspension and gearbox area as well. It's pretty neat. So I'm just going to show you the low drag side of things, just so you can get a visible view of how that changes on the selection screen. So let's test that out now. So we'll go with the Sauber, and if we go to somewhere like, let's go to Alton Park. Let's just put Alton Park on there. So that's our wing setup. We have a high wing, and then if we go to Monza, you can see the wing change on there. That's the main difference you can see as it changes there automatically when you go to a low downforce circuit. So if we say go to Spa-Francorchamps, it's giving us the high downforce for the main version. But if we go to the historic version, that's still also high downforce, which is interesting. And let's try somewhere else. What have we got? What does it give us for Silverstone historic? Let's go for the 75 version. That's high downforce as well. Where else might it have low downforce? Daytona. Yep, so Daytona runs the low downforce setup. What's one of the other ones? Hockenheim. If we go to the old Hockenheim. Yep, so that runs the low drag as well. So certain circuits will run that setup. It's the same. You can see the difference on the 962 as well, which has it's almost the long tail version of it, swooping right out the back there. If we change that to the other one, you can see how it just protrudes up more. It's really, really cool, isn't it? Let's have a look at that actually. Go to Hockenheim 77. Yeah, let's go to there. I want to have a look at this car on track just to see the low drag version of it, just to check it out. But it's cool. It's a lot more swooping and low profile, and yeah, it looks good. So the car will look even better if it has the Asetek sponsor paint scheme. Yeah, I need to learn how to do liveries on AMS2. I've not tried that before. I know it's possible you can put your own liveries on the cars, but I've not given that a go up until now. But I'll have to create some SRB liveries to go on them. Low downforce busker is closing the windows. That's right. They actually need to introduce a high downforce one where they have the engine cover off slightly. A little bit more drag. So here we go. Low downforce. It's a shame you can't select between the two so that you can do a test to see how much difference the low drag will actually give you down the straights in terms of straight line speed. Because you will never know, because you try and load in here, it's always going to give you the low downforce spec. '77 version of Hockenheim, easily my favourite version of the old layout, with the big long straights going off into the trees. It does feel a bit more civilized driving the 962 compared to the Corvette. The Corvette's just angry almost. It's quite a different feel within the car. The 962 seems quite refined by comparison. Yeah, you love the old Hockenheim, Funky. Yeah, it's good. It's even in low drag. There's still a fair amount of grip with the corners as well. So you don't lose out too badly. Let's go through this first chicane once more because this one's really fun. And then we'll have a look at the replay and see what the car is like on the outside. Okay, let's go check out the replay. Yeah, so it's got that much longer tail on it. You can see how you only really have the driver cockpit area, which is the bit that sticks up. Everything else is just pretty much just straight. As soon as you get over the front wheel arches there, it's just almost just straight back all the way along. It's super slippery through the air. Just needs Le Mans now. Just needs Le Mans. That'll really set it off. That's really cool. It's nice too, and of course, it sounds great. Okay, let's go check something else out as well. I honestly miss those days. It's Frank. Yeah, it feels like it's like the really good era, isn't it? It feels like an age we all hark back to and say, yeah, that was proper racing cars right then. Marty says, Phil, any updates on possible Fusca League in future? Yes, there are updates. I have created on SimRacing GP a Fusca series consisting of 6 rounds. It's not been published yet, so it's not available to sign up. The reason it's not been published as of yet is it's still kind of experimental on SimRacing GP in terms of trying to get it stable and working correctly. So I'm hoping I'm going to keep an eye on it. And if it gets to the point where they feel like it's better and capable of standing some organised events on there, it says don't host races on AMS2 which are important. So obviously the Fusca League is quite important. But we might give it a try anyway, I think. So I've got a 6-round series scheduled in. It'll be one of those series where you don't have to be there for every single round. And it'll be, I think, I've got it set up as being 4 of those 6 races will count towards the overall point score. So if you can't make 2 of the rounds, don't worry, because it's not going to count, and it'll only count your 4 scores from previously as well. So that's the idea. The Fusca League is going to have, initially, we're going to start off with just some Brazilian circuits, or Brazilian-esque circuits. I think Ibarra might be on the list as well. So we'll do it in like a standard Copa Fusca type scenario to start off with, and then if we get some interest and people have enjoyed it, and we might open it up and do a Fusca International series with overseas rounds at Silverstone or Alton Park or wherever it may be. So that's the where we're up to at the moment with it. So it is in the works. I have got a series set up. It'll be running on Friday evenings most likely. It'll be Friday night Fuscas. So I'll let you know when it's ready to launch, and then we can start scheduling in some dates and get that up and running. Probably running every 2 weeks, just to kind of make sure we're not doing it constantly and give a chance for people to practice in between. Also, there may be a prize for the winner. So stay tuned. Some exciting stuff coming up very soon. Right, okay. So let's have a look, see what else we can try here. So Heisenberg said, I've learned something in the stream. Thanks for the foot pedal cam. I now understand how to use the clutch properly when shifting. Oh, cool. Oh, I'm glad it helps. I mean, heel and toes, quite a difficult thing. It's not easy to master straight away. You have to be quite a lot of practice in, because you've got to make sure it makes it easier with these pedals. I know this is going to sound like a real plug here. It makes it easier with these pedals because the brake pedal is so strong and stiff. You can really just lean on it and then just rotate across, and the brake pedal doesn't really move. Whereas if you have a brake pedal which is quite long and a lot of movement and quite soft, it's very difficult to keep it at that same level of brake pressure when you're doing your blipping. Otherwise you'll be braking hard, then off, then on and off every time you blip. So it's kind of inconsistent. So having a good solid brake pedal really does help with heeling and towing. So yeah, it's a fun technique and I really enjoy doing it. But I'm glad you learned something. That's cool. I'm glad it helps in some way or another. So some cars are quite forgiving with it. Others will insta-kill you if you don't have the heel and toe order. Yes. I find race room to be particularly brutal when it comes to getting your shifts right on the downshifts. It's really difficult to get right. Okay. Well, let's do something here, because I believe also they did some oval setups for some cars. I think the stock car series had some oval setups available to them. So let's go find ourselves an oval. We'll go to Fontana again. I think we'll do this one here. I'm just going to load up and see if we can see if there's a set oval setup for the stock cars. I know they did it for the Copa Montanas and the Super V8 as well, I think. Because obviously they were just people were running these cars on the ovals, but those weren't set up for them accordingly. So it'd be interesting to check, see what we can do with that. So Frankie said, okay, Fusca at Nord, sub 930 is good, 922 is my best. Okay, I'll tell you what, once we check this out, Funky, let's go to the Nordschleife. Let's do it. Let's see if we can beat that time. So imagine there's points for cocktails per lap. That's for the Fosca League. That's an unwritten rule I may not have edited in there. There you go. So setup description: Auto Club Speedway Oval. So it's just loaded in. It's not something you have to physically take care of yourself. It's automatically assigned an oval type setup to the car. So does that mean it's asymmetrical then? Yes. Is it? Camber angle rear left, camber angle rear right. So yeah, so you've got more camber on the right hand side for the oval setup, which is cool. So that's that, and a ride height adjustment on the rear as well is the real main differences. So let's see how the stock car drives around the ovals here. Let's see how this goes. John Bowles, welcome John. Says, I do find it slightly annoying you can't opt which kit to race, especially in sports cars. So much flexibility and strategy and approach being denied by making the choice for you. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I do see that, John. It is a bit of a shame. It'd be nice to be able to switch between it should you wish to. I mean, if you're running at Monza, for example, and you are going to run the high downforce setup, it's going to hurt you more than help, I think. But yeah, if there's certain circuits where you think maybe Spa, where it's forcing you to run the high downforce setup, but you think that you can actually get away with running the low downforce setup, then yeah, that would be somewhere where you think the strategy call might be quite good. But yeah, hopefully maybe one day we'll get the opportunity to choose what aero setup we have on the car. That would be good. All right. So now we're talking, says Gareth. Yep. Here we go. Let's give this V8 stock car a bit of a run around the oval. Turn right to go left, says Heisenberger. Okay, I will do that. Casual, welcome Casual. AMS1 car models are better than R Factor 2, but R Factor 2 has better physics and details. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, AMS1, I went back into it just recently for the Group 5 mod that we were testing out the other week, and you know, it still drives really well. It still looks pretty good for its age as well. R Factor 2 I'm struggling to get on with. I think it's mostly down to force feedback settings through OSW. And obviously there's some default settings for other direct drive wheels, such as, say, SimiCube 2, which is more integrated with proper settings and things. OS1, which is the SimiCube I'm running, was a little bit looser in terms of settings, because you get quite a lot of variation between the different brands of OSW wheels. So even though they might be running the same motor, the actual firmware they use to drive and implement all the force feedback effects were slightly different. So you can't just have one single setting for SimiCube 1. So I believe there's a bit of tinkering to be done to make the force feedback feel correct, but I do struggle with R Factor 2 to get a good feel with the direct drive. On the Fanatec it was pretty good, but the direct drive just, I don't know, not found the sweet spot with it just yet. So Heisenberger says Gran Turismo 7 has best car models. I will admit, Gran Turismo 7 does look very, very pretty indeed, and the car models do look very nice as well. I've not driven it, so I can't comment on the actual driving standards or the way the cars feel underneath you, but looks-wise, yeah, no, I would agree, it does look very good indeed. So Funky says, putting on the spot, Phil, it's okay, I think you will beat my time, no problems, but first time? Okay. Do you think we'd try and go for a world record? Funky says, you can put my ghost up in the time trial. Yes, I can. I will do that. So we can have Funky on the stream with us so we can see where we are in relation to Funky on track. We'll do that next. But so far, the stock car around Fontana, obviously I'm just put to the floor, you can see that for yourself. But the car does feel quite tight when you get into the corners. To turn it down onto the banking, It does load up quite nicely, so you get a good feel of the road underneath you. And obviously having the increased camber on the right hand side means that when you're over in the banking, that tyre is sitting on the road properly. Yeah, it works. It really does help with grip through the corner. So yeah, again, that's not the most exciting feature to show you guys, but you know, it's just one of the things which has come about with the recent releases, that the selection of different cars have got proper oval setups on them now, so that it makes them more drivable on the oval courses, and also helps with the AI racing as well, so they're not all over the place going through the corners. So that's cool. So it works well, and I'm sure it will race well with other cars on track as well. Right, let's do this. Let's do this. One of the other things worth mentioning here as well, official events, the time trial of the week, which is on at the moment. We have Formula Vintage Gen 1s at Monza, historic, and we also have GTE running around Watkins Glen. There is now a fix in place whereby we're not getting the performance drops in time trials, official time trials that is, as we were previously. So previously you could do any time trial or test day in a regular format and it would be absolutely smooth, no problems whatsoever. But you jump into the official events doing time trials, which is essentially the same thing, but there was a big performance drop on a lot of people's computers and things. So that's now been fixed, so you can do time trial officials or time trial of the week and not have any stuttering or performance drops, which is a nice thing to have. So let's load up time trials, shall we? Let's go for the second time this evening. In fact, spoiling you guys this evening on Copa Fusca action. I honestly don't quite know what to expect with this. Is it the full or the... Oh, here it is. Just the Nordschleife. Okay. So here he is, Funky himself, a 921.143. The leader's on a 911, which is where the Fusca's grown up to become, actually a 911. So it's 9 seconds. Obviously, the Nordschleife is an incredibly long lap, so there is some lap time potential in there. But let's add Funky as a ghost. Funky's got a setup on there as well. Ooh. I'll have to use this setup too. Right, so let's see if we can beat Funky's 921. I highly doubt it, because Funky is a Copa Fusca specialist. And he's been putting a lot of effort into this time trial, trying to get his best time around the Nordschleife. So let's see if we can get anywhere close. But before that, let's see if we can actually survive a lap. That's the main challenge for me right now. All right, get my WRC wrist rolls going on, loosen up, ready to go. Okay. Remember, Phil, third and fourth gear are your friend in the Copa Fusca. Pump the roll bars to full, says Funky. Well, we'll drive as we have and see how we get on. Right, up and over the line we go. Let's see what we can do. Here's Funky waiting for us. I didn't expect to see his car disappearing. There it goes. That was a very poor run to the first corner. Getting ourselves warmed up. I'm gaining on you. There's the wall. Well, it hasn't disallowed it, so we'll carry on for now. They're built tough, these Copa Fuscas, you know. They need to be. Well, Funky's doing well so far. We are very ragged. Let's see if we can just calm it down a little bit and try and reel him back in again. First time driving this car at the circuit as well, so... And we haven't driven the Fusca for a little while. I know we drove it at the start of the stream, but... I haven't driven it for some time. Funky's pulling away here. You might be safe. So obviously no fifth gear, so we have to leave it in fourth. Throwing chunks of rubber at me through the bridge corner. Gained some time back on him there though. We now close the gap ever so slightly. Again, running out of revs down the hill. Coming up to a tight, technical little section. That's narrowed the gap considerably through there. I was fully expecting to be turned over as we hit that big curve, but there we go. We can now see where we're going, but we also don't have a reference anymore. And that's how it's being deleted. Knew that wouldn't take long. Okay, let's go again. Right. So now we know what we're dealing with. We've driven the section of track which most people are pretty familiar with when it comes to the Nordschleife. Not many people are that familiar with the rear end of the circuit because most of the time we're spent restarting and going again. So let's try and get turn one better. Focus and don't look at the chat while driving, says Heisenberg. I'll try my best. Crush him! At our first section. And we can see him in our mirrors as well, so we can keep an eye on him. Right, up to Flugplatz. Didn't take off last time, so we're safe. We also can't take a flat. My knowledge of the Nordschleife here is showing. Okay, on we go again. Just getting used to the car, knowing its limits. As I said, it's been a little while since we drove this thing. There's a much nicer turn one. And I got caught on the curbs there and just bounced me out to the left-hand side. Okay. So, Heisenberg says, I don't know why the curves in everything are so steep or whatever you describe it. Yeah, it's, they are enormous curves. Okay, we're through this time without catching the grass. So Frank says, are we really stuck here having to admit Funky is actually pretty quick with the Busker for once? Well, we've got some space between us and him for the moment, so let's see. Just nice and conservative for the rest of the lap, I think. Kind of like that, but more conservative. I cannot bear it, I declare. Quickly pour another glass of rum. quick dab of brakes into there. Okay, there we go. Now we just need to get ourselves through the next corner where we've got ourselves the furthest around the Nordschleife we've done with the Fusker. So let's try and achieve that. There we go. I do love it though, you just slide it through the corners, it's good fun. Do the compression in that little chicane there, and then we have the triple right-hander, slide it through here. Something like that. And we have to get on the brakes nice and early here because we're going downhill and it gets rather tight at the bottom. There we go. Also need to be a bit wary of the tyre temperatures with all this sliding around. And behind you, says Frankie. That was a third gear corner. Let's try and keep our momentum up as we ascend the hill here. Okay, kept it in bounds. Just. There's Funky. There he is. The drinks are flowing in chat. Right, tyres have a chance to cool themselves off a little bit here now because we have some straight. A bit less sliding around. We also need to try and not get too caught out by the fact that we haven't braked for quite a while. No braking involved. So we're going to do a little bit of a dab for this left-hander just to make sure we're through here safe and sound. Probably a wise choice. Definitely wasn't flat. And again, just a little dab just for safety and confidence through that. Now we're back on the brakes hard. Okay, not too bad. So Heisenberg says, what do you think is the best racing sim? For me, it's said, of course, iRacing is the most realistic sim, but it's expensive though. Yeah. It's the age-old debate, isn't it? Get down on that banking. There we go. Yeah, it's one of those questions which just rages on and on, doesn't it? There's so many strings to that bow, but yeah, it's a difficult one. I appreciate all race sims. I don't know. It's hard to say really which is the best racing sim. I think, as far as racing is concerned, iRacing does provide the competition element very well. As far as driving dynamics is concerned, obviously R-Factor 2 is up there, AMS2 is up there and trying to get my words out. Automobilista 2 for me drives really nicely. Okay, just trying to concentrate down this tricky little section. To YouTube corner. There we go. Okay. That one's one of the corners which usually catches me out, so happy to get through there relatively safely up to the jump. On the brakes earlier beforehand. Probably could have left it in 4th gear through there, but it's okay. Up to the second jump here. Not that it's going to matter in this car. Just go a little bit light there though. And then we're into the really quick section through here. Leaving 4th for the right-hander. Down to 3rd for the left. At this point, very much just trying to keep it on the island so we can actually register a lap here. Way more on the table. So, big long right-hander before the long straight. Okay, when we're through, you can have a bit of a breathe for a moment. Charlie, welcome. Good to see you, Charlie. Charlie Beckley, should I say? Get my words out. Hi all, is this the Fusco? It certainly is. the mighty Cobra Fusco, one of our favourite cars in all of AS2. We're taking on the Nordschleife. I know if you've joined in now thinking, where's Indy? We did do it earlier on. We had some performance issues going on, which is kind of hampered things a little bit. So we're doing a bit of a rundown of the other update features. But then Funky challenged me to try and beat his lap time here at Nordschleife in the Cobra. So that's what we're doing. And under the Bilstein Bridge we go. Not many corners left on the lap. So a quick position check. Where's Funky? Back there somewhere. Alright. Hard on the brakes. Down to 3rd. One more corner to go after this one. There you go, up across the line, and it is... Oh, that's close. It's a 912.4. So, we did beat Funky. But we were just narrowly close to beating the top. I'm sure we could do it. I think that was a very, very scruffy lap. There was way more time on the table. So let's take a look at just how far off we actually are from the yeah, the Fusco is always fun. You're absolutely right, Charlie. Funky's world is about to be shattered, says Frank. So Heisenberg said Super GT did a 200 lap race on the Nürburgring Gran Turismo Sport before. It took him 27 hours. Oh. Yeah, I think endurance races at the Nordschleife are just absolutely insane. Funky says, my fault, the fellas come through. Well done. Oh, thanks, Funky. So yeah, we were only 7/10 off the top. Man, that's nothing. Around a lap the length of the Nordschleife, that's nothing, isn't it? I reckon we could do that. So let's retry that again another time.
Eat it, Funky. Open mouth smile.
Eat it, Funky. Oh man, thanks, Marty. So yeah, well done. No, honestly, I know we've made a bit of a joke of that, but Funky, you know, to be fair, 9:21, you're not the slowest around the Nordschleife. And I was a bit worried. I was honestly, I was genuinely worried at the start of that, thinking, oh, I don't think I might be able to do this. But it's just a case of just retuning my brain to the unique handling characteristics of the Cobra Fusca. And once we got that dialed in, it was not too bad, but definitely a whole lot more time on the table with that. I'm sure I could get probably into the 909s maybe, but we'll have to see. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I love sliding that car around. It's it's just a great little car. Okay, well, let's just, seeing as we're talking about Indy tonight, or at least we're supposed to be talking about Indy, let's just revisit it one more time and just kind of give our thoughts on the track as it is. So we'll go to Indy Road, and we'll take something else on track, which is a little bit different. Let's what should we do? I reckon we try. Where's it gone? I always lose this particular car in the list of cars. Let's try the DPI, and we'll drive that around Indy Road. See how we get on. Oh, thanks, Frank. Superb time, he says. Oh, it's all right. It's not too bad. As I said, it could be quicker. It's funny, that was impressive, Bill. It's really fun in the Fusca round. It is. It is a fun track to drive with the Fusca. And to be honest, you could take the Fusca anywhere and just have a really good experience and just have a big smile on your face. Because a couple of those moments there, I was genuinely like, I'm going to lose this. This is going to just go around on me, and there's no recovering. But other times you could just hold it there, and yeah, no problem. Just slide it through corners, and it will happily do so. Right. First gear, and let's go in the big DPI Cadillac. See if things have settled down a little bit in the frames per second variety. So, yeah, I mean, just looking at the details along the side of the track there, you've got all the key details in there, and it does look good. I mean, I will admit it does look very good. And I know there's a lot of people who are quite happy to have the Indy Motor Speedway in AMS2. I mean, obviously we have the Champ Car or kart cars within AMS2, which has been met with pretty much universal approval from a lot of sim racers who really enjoy those particular cars. So having Indy really makes sense, because that's the spiritual home of IndyCar, or Champ Car, really, isn't it? It's what you'd expect to drive around this particular circuit. Now, I know that there is potential for a 2022 specification IndyCar in the works to be released once they work things out with IndyCar themselves. So it's one of those things which will arrive at some point when it's ready. So we'll look forward to seeing that when that gets released. In the meantime, we get to play with Indy Road Circuit and the Oval as well. Down through the gears in the DPI. So, key things to take away from here. The race director is hot on track limits. The brake markers are a lot closer to the corner than you expect them to be. And the tyre wear doesn't look too bad, unlike in 2005. So here we go. Let's wind it up a little bit. Let this V8 purr. Down to turn 1. Hard on the brakes. And the curbs are quite big on the inside of some of these corners for this DPI. Some of them are quite flat, have a nice little razor effect on them, so when you drive over them you do get a nice vibration through the steering wheel as you hit those curbs, like there. You won't have felt that, but I certainly did. But some of the curbs, like that second one on that chicane, and then on the really tight corners, they're quite strong. So you do get a real jolt through the wheel when you hit those too hard. Like that. force feedback in this DPI though. It's really good. It's quite a heavy wheel, but the connection you feel between yourself and the tarmac is super impressive. So I think my issue with that last corner, that last corner is, well, I can't really call this a corner I suppose, but the one previous, I think my main issue with that is that I'm not getting the line right. And you've probably been shouting at me all this evening as I'm turning in too early, which I am. So I need to turn in later for that corner. So we'll try that this time around and see if we can actually do that. So here we go. Oops, a little deep into turn one again. Aggressively put the power down, or you have to get back on the brakes when out to the left hand side. Line it up on the inside, put the pedal down, keep over to the right, straight line the chicane as much as possible. And away we go. Evening, Kevin. Good to see you. Frank says the DPI is legit one of the best cars on the title. It didn't used to be. It was a bit of a slow burner, the DPI, and it would have been very easy to be put off by it when you first drove it because it wasn't particularly interesting to drive when it was first released, but now it is absolutely fantastic. Right, coming up to our favourite section of track, let's try and optimise this line into this penultimate corner. Keep over to the right. And that is still off track. But it actually felt a little better through there. It's difficult because in this particular car you can't really see very much out the left hand side there. So this is where triple screens or VR really does, you know, bring a bit of an advantage because you get to move your head and you can see around the corners or what's coming, or threading between the side windows as to what you can actually see. Because with this car, trying to take that late apex into that penultimate corner, you just have to almost trust where it is and pick another spot as your reference point so you can kind of turn in from there and get it spot on. So it takes a bit of practice, I think. Tyre chatter as we understeer our way into that left-hander. Okay, so this circuit is feeling better with this particular car. I get it a bit more with this DPI. Yeah, that's a bit better. And you can take the final corner absolutely flat out as well because you have the aero to help. Yeah, a lot of love for the DPI in the comments. Yeah, absolutely. Oops. Still braking way too late for turn one. I need to bring that braking point back. Or brake more efficiently. So Frankie says, I guess I'll have to put up a 911 RSR 74 time and get beaten again. I'll try and do it in the Corvette, shall I? GSM Dad, welcome! This DPI is brilliant. It's a shame I'm such a poor driver of it. Oh. Well, it's okay. We can all enjoy cars even if we aren't particularly good in them. There's several cars I've driven this evening which, if you watch back or the early part of the stream, I wasn't particularly impressive in them. It was still fun, but yeah, I didn't exactly cover myself in glory. But yeah, the DPI is mega. Yeah, that's going to be a track limit. There it is. That's the problem. That curb is so big that it's so enticing to just jump into it and get all over that curb because you think, oh, yeah, that's a curb, I can use that, but you can't because it's wider than the width of the car, so you end up going off track and getting penalised for it. Okay, so second time through for the road course at Indianapolis. What do we think? Okay, the DPI really brought that track to life for me then. I think the GTEs, yeah, they work around there. The Cobra Fusca was just pure chaos because we were doing a race. But yeah, I think the DPI really showed that course has a little bit more to it and a bit more enjoyable. It flowed better. I mean, there's a lot of 90-degree corners on this track, a lot of them. So looking at the track map, you got 1, 2. You can guess you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a little bit more than that. So it's mostly made up of 90-degree corners, which in itself is not very interesting. But with the feel of the DPI to then the downforce and the cornering speeds, it flowed a little bit better and it was a little bit more enjoyable. I think if you're in a car where you have to be, you can't necessarily be as, I guess the DPI is very forgiving, I suppose, in that regard. So if you're in a car which is slightly less forgiving and you're having to put a little bit more into trying to maximize speed through the corners, it takes a little bit more effort to get that flow through the corners. So it's a bit of a hit and miss kind of track depending on what car you're driving around there. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But you know, it's a good course in the right car, absolutely. Sorry, just to catch up on your comments before they disappear off my screen. It says, so it's easy to overcook it and lock up too. It's a fine line with that thing. Yeah, absolutely. Heisenberg says, have you also tried arcade racing games like Forza, Need for Speed, etc.? Not for a little while, I will be honest. I've kind of mostly been driving sim stuff for a long time. But yeah, initially I was on some of the more arcadey titles as well. Verinda's another one upvoting the DPI. Yeah, definitely. Let's just watch this go around while we talk through some of these comments. So GSAM Dad says, hi Martin, all been busy the last few Saturdays, but enjoying the show tonight with a glass of wine. Really pleased for Phil securing a great sponsorship deal, very deserved. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm excited. It's great to be working with Acertech. They are a really passionate group of enthusiasts, and they do a really good job. And the pedals, as you can see, are just beautiful, and they work really well as well. So yeah, I'm super pleased with that. Funky says, it's all about the fun. If it's not fun, then why? Exactly. Funky's just completely nailed the ethos here at Sim Racing Bar. It's all about having fun with this sim racing. And yeah, I know there's the competitive side of things as well, which to some may be the fun part, but you know, it's not the be all and end all. You don't have to have high-end competition to be having fun with sim racing. So yeah, it's all about the fun. That's what we love here at Sim Racing Bible. Somebody says, Phil also busting out the cuddle lighting pedal cam. Oh, what's going on? What's happening? Things are changing, and I hope you like it anyway. It's a bit of a different look. All right, well, that's the rumbly DPI around the road course. So let's try one more time to sort out this oval. Because it didn't go so well earlier on in the stream. So let's try it again and see if we can do it. So Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Maybe we should go with the Cobra trucks. We seem to do quite well on the ovals with the trucks. No, we better do this properly. So let's go Gen 3 and we will... What should we run? We ran the Reynard last time. We got Reynards and Lolas. We haven't got a Swift, have we, in the Gen 3s? We do in the Gen 2. So let's run the Swift, shall we? For a slightly different version. Okay. Hopefully the frames per second don't drop so badly that we end up not being able to drive because it's too stuttery. That's what I had problems with earlier on, so hopefully that's not going to be the case this time, but we'll see. So Frank says, if it was not for Phil's new pedals, he would never have beaten my time. Oh, well, if you want to put it that way, that's absolutely fine. It's all down to Acertech, so if you want to go faster, you need some Acertech pedals. No, I don't know. Who knows? I was quite well kind of, I guess, warmed up with the Fenatics. I've been driving with them for so long that I was quite used to how to drive them, and it's not until you get a new set of pedals with a completely different feel to them that you realise just how much you have to get used to them. Because I don't think I'm actually anywhere near as quick as I may have been all the time with my Fanatics. but there is definitely potential to go quicker. As you saw in the video, if you've seen the video from Friday, I did go quicker on iRacing pretty much straight away, and it really makes a difference with the non-ABS cars as well. But it did take a bit of time to get used to them properly, so I'm actually getting up to a pace where I'm comfortable with. So yeah, it's good. So an RGB light near the pedal would be even cooler. Yeah. I mean, it's got the LED strips on the pedals. You can't really see them too much when my feet are on them, but yeah, I have got more RGB lighting. I just need to get an extender and try and run it down there a little bit more. So we'll see. See what we can do. Right. Can we do it? Can we actually manage to get around the oval with without falling off? That's the big question. And will the performance hold up to be able to do so? So Samuel says, that's why I love sim racing so much. Everyone has something to race with. Everyone has someone to race and compete with. So many people with different skill levels. Yeah, absolutely. There's always someone that you can have a bit of a race with, regardless of your outright speed or whatever it may be. So again, just nice and easy on the way out of the pit lane. Wow, the steering is so light compared to the DPI. Okay. Well, it's holding together a little bit better this time, so let's hope that continues. Marty, Phil's going to wreck us with the Foscas and these fancy pedals. Yeah, okay, so it's still stuttering a little bit when we come onto the main straight here, but we'll drive through it. Yeah, I'm just trying to get some heat in these tyres. And I think with the Indianapolis oval, it's one of those things. If you're used to oval racing, you're used to just getting turned into turn in the first kind of banked corner and leaving a fairly consistent steering lock on all the way through until you're on the back straight, and then you have a bit of a moment to just reassess your position, and then you have another corner to get to deal with. Whereas here, you're going on the first straight here, you get into first corner, you get through it, and then you straighten yourself up, catch the car, and then you're instantly into the next one, which is quite unsettling for the car. It doesn't necessarily like doing it straight away, especially if it's moving out from the previous corner and you end up having a bit of a fishtail, and you're trying to get the car turned in for the second of the two corners, and it's not quite ready to do so. Oh, big slide off the corner there. And again, a huge slide off that one. But yeah, it's a really difficult circuit. It's not easy whatsoever. And with the low downforce speedway setups, you get a wonderful view of the sky. Man, that is so difficult. I don't know whether it's just me, but it just feels so difficult to be actually keep the thing going in a controlled sort of state. Let's just go back in here and let's add some rear downforce and some front downforce. There we go. Save me. I need some downforce, need some grip. Right, let's try again. So for instance, when you hit 40, you take 1 second a lap off every extra year. I'm 50, so... Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Yeah. Oh, that was Marty, sorry. And for instance, my calculations say Marty is 135. Oof. The Simon says, racing all over this is something else. It's so scary in a sim, let alone real life. Yeah, I know. It's... As you've seen this evening, I mean, it takes a little bit of skill to be able to put some laps together consistently and not have any dramas. It really is quite tricky. So Matty says, ovals in VR, I look forward to experiencing it. You probably do okay. So again, let's just build the speed up. You can't go flat out straight away. It's just not going to happen with less than optimal tyre temperatures. Kevin's like, yeah. Luckily this is sim racing, I'm not dead. That wall really comes up at you. Automobilista says, imagine you're playing in VR and that crash happens. Yeah. You have to be cleaning the inside of the VR helmet, I think, just to go racing again. So, definitely some big performance drops around Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Somehow managed to save that. No idea how. A wobble at 360 kilometers an hour, Gary Brown. Yep. Absolutely. So sometimes you can get it turned in and down to the apron down here and hold it there, and it's not too bad. Okay, we've got some tyre temps up now. It's feeling a little bit better. It's just a lift off the throttle just to coax it in. Oh. The thing is though, you get out of that groove, you do end up going all over the place. But yeah, I mean, I got that turned in then, and then why did I end up? Oh yeah, that's what it was. So I was just trying to figure out what I did wrong then. So you come through the corner, you start releasing the steering lock as you get partway through the corner, thinking that's the time to start unwinding the steering because I'm going to try and go a little bit, quicker down the straight. You want to try and take that steering lock off as much as possible so you can maximise your straight line speed. So you unwind the steering, and sometimes that wall comes up at you so quickly it actually scares you and you jink the steering to try and steer away from it, and that's when the death wobbles start happening and it just makes the whole situation worse. You can just hear how the revs are changing as we're going through these laps. It's a brush with the wall, but it's starting to wind up a little bit more. It's winding up even more. And you can see why it takes a few laps to get up to the absolute peak speed for qualifying. That's high. But we're okay, we're safe. Heisenberg says, I'll have to go now. Goodbye, everyone. And on stream, yeah, thanks for joining us, Heisenberger. Not a problem at all. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I'm going to be wrapping up fairly shortly anyway, I think. But yeah, thanks for joining us. And thanks for everyone who's tuned in this evening to see the stream. It's good to be back in AMS2. Looking forward to what comes our way over the next month, because by the sounds of things, there's some very nice looking treats heading our way. So obviously we shall be doing our best to cover those for you. Ooh, that's caught the inside grass. Okay, so we're getting into a bit of a rhythm here. And so obviously the first of the two corners, as you come off of the big long straights, you have to lift a little bit because obviously you've got a lot more speed going into it. But that means that for the second, you can keep it absolutely flat. Oof, there's another brush with the wall. So as long as you actually get the turning point right, because you've got to be really accurate with your turning points. Oh, it's a bit of a scruffy corner. Off the throttle at the wrong point, a sliding mid-corner. Not good. And speaking of which, That's a walk. But we were getting there. We were getting there. It's an art to drive ovals, especially Indy. I'm doing it for 500 laps as well. It's just, well, 500 miles. It's insane. This sounds so good as well. Listen to this. That's mega. Yes, Rise are definitely bringing us some nice things in December, says Marty. Samuel says, brutal, how are you? Almost touching 400. I'm going to try this myself tomorrow after a good night's sleep. Yeah, it's a rest. You need to be wide awake and well alert to drivers. So Samuel says, been playing ACC all evening, so I'm knackered to do this as well. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, that pretty much sums up our events for the evening. So Indianapolis added to the roster of circuits for AMS2. Definitely worth having in, obviously, for the IndyCar content. It's almost essential to have. The road course, you can kind of take it or leave it depending on what car you want to drive there. But nevertheless, it's good to have in. But as mentioned, I think my real favourite thing out of all of this is the Corvette GTP car, which is just pure sim racing nirvana. It's just so good. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that. I it's just been good to be back in AMS2 and doing some fun stuff with you all this evening. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and if you did, please hit the like button as usual. It really helps with the channel and helping us to get more viewers on the channel. And I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing, and there'll be more coming your way very, very soon indeed. Trying to get some more videos recorded for you guys. But yeah, again, thank you very much for your company this evening. It's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you for your comments and for the fun that we've been able to have this evening. So yeah, hopefully have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. But for now, it's goodbye for now. Bye-bye.